I have some numbers for you. In the last election in Manitoba, the Conservative Party received a walloping 222,366 votes for them. You think they got that many against them? They have a majority of seats. That's true. No, the majority of people voted against them. There were 249,551 people who voted against the Conservative Party. They shouldn't be in power. The majority of people don't want them. But why aren't they then? Why are they in power? Well, because parties on the left wing tend to spread themselves out by purpose. The NDP wants to be more left-wing than the Liberals. The Greens want to fix the world. Well, folks, when you do that, you end up electing Conservatives. And if that's your goal, go away. Or get together. More importantly, unite. Stop playing a stupid game. I don't think you're going to listen to me on that count. So, the next time you finally get a majority, let's go back to 1958, when we used to have proportional representation. Bet you didn't know that. Yep, Manitoba used to have a proportional representation system until, of course, a Conservative did away with it. Ooh, why? Well, as soon as it was evident that there was soon going to be a third party, the Conservatives said, hey, guys, every time we can get 34% of the vote, we've got a really good chance of winning. And you know, our people are as loyal as old daylights. They never quit. It doesn't matter how hard we screw them. So, let's do that. So they did away with proportional representation, which is an advanced form of voting in most of the world, and went back to first past the post, which is based on having only two political parties, and the majority of votes goes to one of them. How stupid can you be? Unite the left. Now, more importantly, how else could we vote, and how does this proportional representation work? There are a bunch of different models, but my personal favorite is called ranked choice instant runoff. Here's how it works. Let's pretend that there are 3 potential candidates, and let's pretend that there are 100 voters. Okay, sounds easy enough, right? Each voter gets a ballot, paper. No, not electronic. Not easy to count. Can't give it to a judge. And a pen. And on that ballot, there are 3 names. And what you do is you write down the list. So you know from previous things I've told you, tend to vote to the left. And so I would put a 1 next to the New Democratic Party, a 2 next to the Liberal, and a 3 beside the Conservative, meaning I really want the NDP, I'll suffer the Liberals, and the Conservatives are my last stinking choice if all else fails. Fair enough. It's my choice. Everybody does the same thing, and hopefully, and this is where democracy comes in, you cannot live in a democracy and be ignorant. And that's a problem. There's a lot of ignorant voters out there. If you're an ignorant voter, you should stay home completely, especially if you're an ignorant voter for the right wing. You should never vote if you're conservative. You should just stay home from now on. It's bad for your health to go out on voting day. Anyway, once you've got all these ranked ballots, you take them and you put them into 3 different piles, because in case my example, we had 3 candidates, and they are ranked in terms of the people who voted for number 1 for the candidate. So each pile, the Conservative gets a 1, he gets a pile. The Liberal gets a number 1, that goes in his pile. The NDP gets a 1, goes in his pile. One of the piles of the 3 is always the smallest. It's inevitable. So what do? Well, in that instance, you take the smallest pile, pull it out, and you start to divide up the votes in it by the number 2 on it. Did you vote second for the NDP or the Liberals? Because obviously it wasn't the Conservative who got the majority of the votes. They rarely are. And so then you start to count them out. And whoever gets the most gets the most. And that's how you get to majority. You've sat down, you've ranked your choices, and you've had an instant runoff, meaning that you were able to check to find out what it would take to get to a majority based on choices. It's easy, it's fair, and it's appropriate. And we've already had it once, until, of course, a conservative got a hold of it. So if you're in favor of honest democracy instead of this first-past-the-post garbage that we're suffering right now so we can keep the Conservative Party in power and they can do the evil things that they tend to do, vote for a party that says, I'm going to give you ranked choice instant runoff next time around. I'm Patrick Stewart. I never vote Conservative. And they'd be number 3 on my ranked choice ballot.